hoping it hits you in the head.
Action. Welcome back, guys, to this scene of ours. My name is Abel Tavares. To my left, I have my brother Jeff. That's it? You're going to give two pieces, that's it? Okay. Yeah. All the way to the right, we got Edwin Celentino, the legend, the marvel, the man, the myth.
Yo, yo.
That's it? That's it. Yo, yo. Okay, we're people a few words. And we have a wonderful guest today. Now, our guest. We've known our guest for quite some time. We're going to get into our history of how far we actually go back. She is absolutely incredible, number one. She's easily one of the best spinners in the world. Are you still one of the best spinners in the world?
You know, I'll take my crown,
Okay.
I'll take my crown.
We'll talk about it. She's doing great work. She has her own group by the name of Groovement.
Say it one more time.
Groovement by Scarlett, Medrano. Without further ado, give it up for our guest, Scarlett. Yeah! Scarlett, ¿cómo tú estás?
I'm good. I can't complain.
Are you ready?
Yeah, you ready?
I start off a little crazy, right? Off the bat?
It's all good.
Okay, good.
That's our style.
It is our style.
That's all good.
I actually have a picture of you somewhere in one of my old cell phones with you as a little girl crying or like
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm gonna think
Crying?
Well, actually,
Oh my
Scarlett. Well, we'll talk about it later. But you're a wonderful crier.
Yeah, Scarlett is the most beautiful.
No.
No, what?
It's the truth.
I remember those cries.
Shit. You know what? Go
I
crazy.
felt that shit. They were soulful.
Put it on the screen somewhere.
We'll see what we can do that. I don't want to see if I want to get too crazy because we want to make sure to put a light on you and just how amazing you are. So we're gonna make sure we do that.
But we cry. People cry.
Of course, everybody cries.
Yeah.
Except that one because he's a machine.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Everybody cries.
Okay, good.
I don't remember the last time, though.
Chuck Norris doesn't cry.
Chuck Norris. Yeah.
I don't remember, but
The last time you cried?
I don't.
Damn, that's
But I
cool,
have.
Edwin. That means life's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Or,
Knock on wood.
I just
Fast.
don't have.
Scarlett,
what
have
is
you
it,
cried
tear
lately?
ducts?
Yo, I cried, of course.
Do you cry like? All right, do you cry often, or is it just kind of like when you're like really angry, you kind of get into like one of those vibes?
I just think I'm emotional. So
Okay.
I watched the movie yesterday and I cried. So,
Which movie you watched?
Not the Notebook.
No.
Okay.
I watched Wicked.
Oh,
Wicked.
Everybody's been crying.
So
Everybody.
I cried, of course. So I'm just emotional.
What's your sign?
I'm an Aries.
Oh,
Okay.
That's right.
Can we toast?
Chocolate.
Tú sabes.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? On that note, since we're off to a good note, let's give a strong toast. So today, with our special guest, she had a special request. What are we drinking today, Scarlett?
Diet Coke.
Diet Coke.
Those that know me.
Thank you.
No.
Diet Coke.
Wepa.
And for those that know Jeff and I,
Well, let me
are
try
going to start
this.
laughing.
Come on,
This is not what we
guys.
fuck with.
Have a Coke and a smile.
Right. Ready?
So cheers to
Salud.
Scarlett.
Diet Coke.
Cheers.
is good.
Oh my God.
Cheers.
Hold on.
Y'all are dragging it.
Nah, this is good.
Y'all are dragging it.
This
Dragging
is
it.
terrible.
Yeah.
Edwin.
This is
Fantastic.
awful.
It's heaven.
Yo,
It's absolutely
it's
terrible.
okay.
So you go to like McDonald's and you go, yo, let me get a number 1 large with a Diet Coke.
Diet
Listen,
Coke.
I haven't had
With a
McDonald's
Diet
in a
Coke.
long time, but
Word.
some fries with Diet Coke.
No funny. The McDonald's Diet Coke goes crazy.
Does it?
This
Goes
is
crazy.
Yeah, but they get the official Coke joint. Like, I don't know if you know this, but there's
There's a
something-
difference between
It's
the
a Coke-
fountain,
Yeah. There's a
the
difference.
bottle. I could probably tell the difference. Maybe next time we could do like a test.
Okay.
Put like the
Yuck.
different bottles.
Okay,
And then
I
I'll
like
try
that.
to try to
I
pick.
mean, yeah, we can sit here and watch you taste test.
This is
this
a bad
disgusting
Yo.
beverage.
Yeah,
You-
but you know, I have
This is a
respect for
terrible
people
start,
that drink
by the
Coke.
way.
You could drink your Coke.
Yeah,
but
drink your
no,
Coke.
Diet Coke.
Nah,
is-
we want to do the right thing and just be a part.
All right.
This is kind of like the thing that we do here. We drink what everybody who comes on the show
I love that.
wants to drink.
I
It's
love
the
that.
best with ice,
Yes.
like crushed ice.
Ooh.
You know what I'm
Edwin,
saying?
you're
Crushed ice.
also the guy that used to bring grass to the studio with soil. And it's like, oh, just leave that there. It's my lunch. Like,
Oh no.
Yo, you want to know how Edwin's like? We know Edwin's like really Dominican. Back in the day, Edwin used to take the plastic cup and put it in the freezer to cool it down
Yo.
before pouring anything.
You
in
know,
it.
I have a jarro at home.
Do you like
Yeah.
a metal one?
A special
Yeah.
one, yeah.
Oh wow!
I have a jarro, yeah.
You know where they have jarros, and this is gonna be a weird plug, but if you go to Ajo y Oregano in the Bronx,
yeah, they do.
they have
actually.
jarros for
Yo,
the beverages.
get yourself a jarro and
That's crazy.
thank us later.
Holy-
Put it in the freezer.
Fuck them Mason cups.
Word.
That's
No.
too new.
No, yeah.
So Scarlett, let me start here. How long have you been in the scene? Like how long have you been actually dancing? It's been a while.
Yeah.
How long?
This year or 2025 will be 14 years.
14 years? It feels longer.
It does feel longer. I just
Why? Why does it feel longer for
because
me?
I lived like 17 lives. I feel like we've done so many things.
Okay. And how'd you start dancing?
My mom started taking class.
OG.
She started taking class. She worked in Port Authority.
Okay.
I don't know. Nelson might remember. He used to teach near Port Authority. And
Nelson Flores?
Yeah, Nelson Flores. And
Okay.
she was taking her little classes, and I would go, because at the time I didn't have a sister, so it was just me and my mom. And she'll be like, oh, come to my job, and then we'll
go to the class?
Go to class. And she's like, you could just sit. So I went, and I would sit. And one day, Nelson was like, oh, but tell her to come. Mind you, I'm in the back like this. Because I don't know if you guys remember, young Scarlett was very shy.
I mean,
To an extent. Come on.
I think young Scarlett
yeah,
didn't know
young
who
Scarlett was like
yet.
young Edwin,
Bueno.
right?
Yeah, I
No,
think
pero
you're like
Edwin is silent. Me, I was just very shy.
I'm
Y eso
just
que
saying,
habla mucho ahora.
because she's acting like she's a social butterfly.
No,
but
I'm not a
you're
social.
still a little,
I'm
you
not
know,
a social
you're
butterfly.
still a little-
Let's get that out there. I'm not a social butterfly. I actually have a lot of anxiety, but we'll get to that later. But he pointed me out and he was like, "Tell her to come. Tell her to come." So eventually, I get up and he put me in the front of the class to do it next to him, and then he told my mom, "Yo, she should keep going," and eventually somehow I ended up. Because she was taking classes in charisma as well, because she's cool with Moreno.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
I thought
she's
your
cool.
start was charisma.
No. So first Nelson Flores, then she was taking classes in charisma. Shout out to Moreno. And
On
then
the west side, right?
yes, on 103rd.
103, yeah.
Yeah. So then I went, and I remember Carlos Zafar was there, and he was teaching a advanced beginner or a beginner class, and it literally was just me and like somebody else. And we took the class, and he was like, I think you should take her to like somewhere.
He said that like that?
Yeah, like you should
No, but
take
he
her.
put it, no, mira, mamá, llévala pa' ella.
Ay, coño, pero
Something like that.
I don't.
probably.
Maybe.
Okay.
But
You can laugh. It's okay. It's allowed.
the point
All right?
is,
I'm
you
a
don't
good
have to be
impression.
quiet.
no,
back
go
there.
crazy. I love impressions. I'll do
Okay.
my best whenever I have one.
Okay.
But he told my mom basically like, yo, you should take her somewhere that, can give her an opportunity. And at the time, my mom's friend who was dancing there, I don't know her name, told her there's two companies. There's Santo Rico and there's Yamule. You should pick one and take her there. So you guys know I live in Harlem, and Santo Rico at the time was on 124th or whatever on the east side. So my mom was like, okay, I'll put her there. And they had a kids program. And that's where I met Carmen, and that's where everything happened.
Nice.
You did that
Yeah.
Celia Cruz routine. A la rumba. Dun, 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 dun.
Yo, the black one.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Ah, you see, I remember.
Yo, I
We were
forgot
there.
about that.
Jeff remembers everything. So
That's
Jeff's
what I'm
gonna
here
bring you
for.
back.
I'm only here to remember dates.
I
and-
forgot about that.
And we
Yeah.
were there, you know.
Santo
throughout-
Riquitas, yeah. No,
throughout
yeah.
that time, we
you
were
guys,
all there.
you guys
We
were
saw
like,
you grow up.
you guys were like,
Yeah, we did see you.
you
grow
guys
up.
were like Jesus to me at the time. I was like, oh my God.
Like old Jesus or like,
I mean, I don't know.
like
Whatever, Jesus,
8 ounce.
whatever Jesus you want to
Okay.
think of, but
I'm like baby, like okay, I got
Nah,
you. I know what you're saying.
Like I
that.
looked up to you guys.
Like
so
a
I was
god.
Like, damn, like
Like
look at these
Rakim, the god.
All right.
Scarlett, I put my pants on one leg at a time like everybody else. No difference.
So okay, so how old were you when you kind of got to like SR?
I was probably turning 14.
Oh, okay. So then you kind of started a little bit late compared to like
yeah.
all the successful young women
Yeah.
in the scene. That you kind of like are like a late
bloomer.
not a late bloomer, but like I feel like everyone started a lot sooner before you.
I did.
And they were,
I started sooner. I just didn't start salsa because I hated salsa.
what did you do?
I was doing flamenco. I did
Oh.
hip hop. I
didn't know that. You knew that?
Yeah, I did flamenco. I did hip hop, and I did ballet.
Cool.
Yeah.
I had no idea about any of that stuff.
Yeah, I loved flamenco. I hated
So we're
ballet.
gonna have like a flamenco influence in one of the
No,
Groovement routines.
Absolutely not.
Why?
No, Groovement. No, we'll leave flamenco to other people.
Keep going.
you loved
man.
it.
Okay.
It's just
No,
shit.
I loved it. I did love it. I enjoyed it. I like the castañuelas and like the shoes and stuff. But Then salsa came into my life,
And it took over.
It took over, yeah.
And you've been pretty consistent ever since. Like you never really taken a break, right?
I feel like no. The only break I consider, and it's not even a break, was when we started teaching in Ridge Hill.
In Ridge Hill.
Which I remember. We're gonna come back to the time you almost killed us
Me?
in the van driving to Ridge Hill.
What'd I do? I don't remember.
you had a fucked up van. And we had
red
to,
van.
we
The
had
red
to,
van.
you had
The
to
red
floor
one.
it in order to get up the hill. And you
And it
was-
started tailing.
and
Yeah,
you-
that sounds about right. It started.
and he was like, "Yo, Scarlett, hold on, you're gonna be alright." And yo,
It started.
You know what's crazy about
it
that
started
van? I drove
tailing.
it one day and the brakes stopped working.
yes,
Yeah,
so that
that happened to
van,
me once too.
And I was like, oh shit.
once upon a time. So that's when I considered my break, but it wasn't really a break because I still was kind of dancing.
But that was you were like traveling. That's when you
Well,
started
yeah.
traveling.
So you were with the girls team, and then you did.
Then I did Exhibición.
I did a show with you. I feel like
I feel like yes, we did. We
the
did.
purple number.
No, you didn't.
We did that in Brooklyn. Yes, we did. I think you were in that show
I don't
for
remember.
sure. I remember.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
That was when I just came
Damn.
back.
Damn.
And I was trying to-
Wow. Holy crap.
That was in Brooklyn.
Holy
You want to know why I
shit.
remember that show? Because I remember Franklin performed and he had a cape.
Yes.
Franklin
And
Liranzo.
he had
Yes.
another guy that
Yes.
had these capes.
Yes.
And I remember them coming out
Yeah, I
like
do remember.
Batman, bro. It was fucking wild.
Yo,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
sick. Yo,
Shout to
that's
You
Franklin.
did when you came back that you had stopped for years. You did like one or two shows.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
With Exhibición
yeah,
to warm
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
And I remember doing it with Henry, and I remember Henry being all over the fucking place.
Henry.
And I remember going, tigre, tenemos con GPS, I think.
Henry. Shout out
So,
to Henry.
so all right, so that's when you kind of started traveling.
No, because I
No,
was
it
on
was a little after that.
No, I was on Exhibición. Then I did Santo
My bad.
Rico, which is when Adara, Joe, and myself, and I think Jeff was still there.
Edwin too.
Edwin popped in.
I think I was.
You popped in for
and
like
out.
2
Yeah,
trips.
that was on my
Yeah, yeah,
on
yeah.
my way out.
You were
That
on
was
your-
like my
you were
last.
on your hiatus.
That was no, I think that was it. That was like my last year.
I just-
No,
think
but the last year was
gig I
it
did,
was
the last
them.
gig I did was with them
In
in
France.
Seattle.
No.
That was my last gig.
Seattle was your last gig, wasn't
You were
it?
there.
Wasn't it France
No.
that you did it with Carmela?
No, that
I
was
know I went
he
there. I
came
don't
back.
think that was the last
he came
one.
back to do a cameo show.
Okay.
He needed another dancer, and he came back and did one show.
But I remember.
But the Seattle show
Yeah,
was
France,
when
I remember, but I was
Seattle
done.
show was when it
That
was
was
supposed to
the
be your
last
last
Yeah,
show.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Seattle. Yeah,
2013.
That was
We
my
went,
debut.
wait, we went on that trip. No,
No.
we went on another
No,
time.
I
No,
know,
that
I
was
remember
that was
that
my
show.
debut with Sunset.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Remember that.
okay.
That was my debut with Sunset.
God, I hated that number.
And that was the last. That was
That was a
Danielle's
good
last
show,
show
right?
too.
Oh, my God.
Remember
Yeah, yeah.
that? Then she
PSD
went to
off that
Yamule.
shit.
Yeah.
Who's?
Danielle's last show.
Danielle and Edwin had the same last show,
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
and then
You know,
and
Yes,
then I
yeah.
tried to stay on, but
Yeah.
I was like, nah.
But yeah, then after that.
But then I did Seattle the following year, and that was
But you-
my last show,
Yes.
technically.
So you went to Seattle 3 years in a row?
I went twice in a row. I went once because in 2013 I didn't go. Couldn't
got
go.
it.
I went in 14 where we did Players Club and
Yes.
fucking did it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And then the next year I went as director of Santo Rico.
Yeah,
and,
and
we
we-
only
and we-
went 1 year. As
We
the-
bonded on that flight to
Yeah.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what came up today in on Facebook? Because Abe was missing, and then they see me.
Oh my God! The skit. The skit. Yes.
It
that
came
you
up
dragged
today.
him?
Yeah.
And Julie shows it to me. Shout out to Julie, my wife. So
period.
she shows it to me, and she goes, "Yo, look at this! It's perfect timing." And then like you just see us
The
like
skit dragging him. Like oh.
That was a fun trip. We had a
That
lot
was
of
a
fun on
fun
that
trip.
trip.
That was
Me and
fun
Scarlett
trip.
bonded a lot on that trip.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of our conversation on the flight over to Seattle. Seattle's the gloomiest place on the planet, by the
It
way,
is.
guys.
It's
All it did
fun.
was rain while we were over there.
But it was cool. It was cool. It was a good memory.
It was.
You know, it was I think I saw something the other day. When we used to teach.
Yes.
on
Yes.
Mondays.
Because I used to see
Yeah.
no,
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 it
not
was
Mondays. It was like a Saturday or Sunday.
Sundays.
I don't remember which day.
Because I remember I would go get pizza, and then
Yeah,
come
but
back.
Then I used to teach with I used to teach with Jasmine, and then I don't know. I think Jasmine left
Left. Yeah.
to DR or something. I think
No
she
sé,
went.
pero se fue, and then
That
She
was
went
by
to
the
the yoga
yoga
certification.
That was-
Yeah, the yoga certification.
yes.
No. That was before. That was when she went to DR to do like humanitarian work with the children.
I just know
Oh,
she
I don't know.
left. That
She
we
went.
ended up
She
teaching.
went for a while.
Yeah.
Damn, Miss
Yeah.
Jasmine.
Shout out to Jazz.
Shout out to Jazz.
She's got a yoga studio in Harlem.
Yeah, I know. Ofrenda.
Ofrenda.
Y'all better check
Shout
it
out to
out
Ofrenda.
and follow her. On
Follow her
Instagram.
too, yeah. She's one
Okay.
of our own. One of our. You need a stretch. She stretches shit out of you.
Yes.
I was her guinea pig when she was doing her yoga certification.
I'm screaming.
I'm dead ass. She was like, "Venga, enseñate el perro," and I was like,
Yo,
But I
yeah.
remember asking you, and you had this look on your face, like what? Like it was like you just. And I was like, Scarlett, you're ready. You can do it. You got this. And we started doing it, but I saw the videos. I'm like giving her like 3 or 4.
Le
no.
encantaba girar.
"Yo,"
But you-
and
Spins.
But you know what's crazy? You know what's a vivid memory of me bothering all of you guys to spin me? I was like, can you spin me, please, so I can learn how to spin?
you got spinning. You got good really, really fast.
But because I would bother you guys. I would bother Jeff.
Yeah, but I think
would
some of
bother
it
Evan.
has to come from you too, though, right? You have to
She
have
liked
that in
it. She
you.
liked
I don't think
it.
everybody
True.
has that in them.
She liked
True,
it.
true, true. I liked it. I truly liked it. Like,
You still can spin?
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I have to
I
ask you
say
this
partner
question.
work in the last routine.
I know. Charlie did that como dos vueltas, tío. I don't know.
Sí,
I be
Evan.
telling Charlie, give me more than 2 spins, and he clowns me all the time. Like, Scarlett only knows how to go fast now. And I'm like, dude, come on. I'm coming from Santo Rico. That's like,
I'm saying you.
you know?
Tell him to do a private wedding so you can help with the
Word.
spins.
Nah, I'm kidding. nah.
Okay, so you did a few gigs with traveling with Thomas.
Yes.
Anything negative to say about Thomas is usually our point moment where we take a moment to talk
Here
shit
we
about
go.
him.
Listen, yo, I learned.
I'm just asking you.
I learned
You don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
No,
we
no,
go.
yo.
Okay,
yo,
but
yo,
you know what the problem is? That they make me feel
FTG.
self-conscious.
Yo, listen,
Huh?
I learned a lot. Listen, at the end of the day, I learned a lot, and I'm grateful.
Great.
It's
Well said.
I'm grateful. You know, like,
Anyways.
yeah.
Okay,
You
so
told me you told me you're changing.
yeah,
It's like Tourette's. That's why.
it's not Tourette's. It's really not. It's
Oh.
a genuine feeling.
Okay.
It's like happiness.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so after you kind of did the SR thing,
Then he left
then he left.
to Orlando.
Not far enough.
And then after that, that's when I remember we
She
had
was
that
working-
meeting, and we were all kind of like,
Yeah, what are we gonna do?
what are we gonna do? And that's when SR Queens happened,
Yeah.
which turned into eventually Huracan. And then that's when I started performing again. Because when you guys went to SR Queens, I don't think I was performing. I was just teaching in Rich Hill.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't want to do it.
What?
I didn't want to take over the team. That's not something I want.
But you know what? Sometimes certain things fall on your lap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't
Yeah.
necessarily
I
want to
was-
do it, but you're destined to do it.
I remember, like, when we started, right? Because I always thought that the last full team we had, when you were still there, when Edwin was still there with you, Adara, Danielle, and Julie, I thought that could have been probably his most talented team. So when he left and he was like, he was like, yo, you got to do this, you got to do this. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want any part of it. And when I inherited you guys, I didn't really know what to do with you guys, right? So it's interesting because we started and, shortly afterwards, I know you didn't like Leafy. I know you didn't like the routine. It's okay.
Yeah, I hated it.
I know you didn't like
I
it.
hated
It's
it.
okay. But it was different. I appreciate the honesty. I knew it.
Yeah, the thing is everybody has
But
what they likes and their
But
dislikes.
I knew it was different, and I respected it.
Mm-hmm.
And
But it was just not what you.
yeah.
At the time, your vibe. What
Yeah,
your
yeah,
vibe
yeah,
is.
yeah.
And the thing is that, what I realized was, what is the point of going from SR to Huracan if I'm going to do the same exact shit that he was doing? So I needed to kind of start experimenting and find my own way. So at that time, in that transitional period, right, I knew that you, Joe, and Adara, that you guys weren't gonna last with me, and I understood that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like you and Joe left first, but when Adara stayed, there was a point that I told her, I said, yo, look, I don't think that this is a right fit for you. You should go find something that's gonna satisfy what you're doing in a transitional period. And it's it's probably not the right place for you. And she said, I agree. And she left. And after she left, right, then I had to because we basically lost all our gigs. So I had time to figure out what my avenue was. And it was good because it allowed me to restart, right? I didn't have this guy, Abel was helping me out, but there was a point that you took a break too. So it was like I was just starting fresh, brand new, and then eventually you came back, Edwin came back, and then we kind of hit a little bit of a stride, and everything worked out the way it did.
Yeah.
And for you too, right? Because you hit something new. And then you went from there to Yamule.
Yeah. Well, I had a little transitional period because I started working like in Sephora for a little bit, and then like after about a year and a half, that's when I was like, I kind of want to dance still.
Okay.
And then that's when I ended up talking to Aaliyah. Shout out to Aaliyah.
Yo,
Shout out to
I
Shout out
saw
to
her.
Aaliyah.
Wait, wasn't it her birthday?
It was her birthday recently. Yeah,
Yo,
happy belated
happy
birthday.
Aaliyah. I saw it on Instagram. That's the only time I get to see
Yeah.
Aaliyah's post.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
what
It
the
was
hell
cool,
she
but
does.
But I remember
She
disappeared,
disappeared.
yo.
Yeah, I remember.
That was our homie, yo.
I know. My
She's
sis.
okay?
Yeah, she's good.
Tell
she's
her
good.
we love her and that we miss her.
Facts. We love you.
Okay.
But I remember I spoke to her and I was like, yo, I kind of want to dance. And, like she had been showing me little things because I was a fan of like a lot of the pieces that Osman had already had out. And I was like, yo, teach me this and teach me the shines to this and teach me the arms to this. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And I remember you were tight.
That you went there?
Gang, you were tight.
No, he wasn't tight that you went there.
I wasn't
Okay.
tight that you went there. No.
He wasn't tight.
You were tight when I left.
I'm not. I was emotional when you
I
left.
know.
So I'm apologizing. I probably got crazy.
No.
with you.
You know what? I respect it though, because again, going.
At least I was like up front.
No, you know
no.
what happened? I'm gonna tell you what happened. Joe dissed us. Right?
Wait, what?
Well,
Joe
that's-
dissed us.
I'm screaming.
Jeff always talks about that.
Joe.
Damn.
No, and he asked me if he could do it in private. He's like, "Yo, can I talk to the team alone?"
that was
And
like,
then when I came in the room, they're like, "Yo, he just dissed the shit out of us."
No.
And they all kind of looked at me, and I was like, "Yo, it is
Look,
what it is."
here's-
And that's when you got.
You know what happens? It's like, look,
Yeah.
everybody has their own like.
Let it out your, get it
Tiene
out your
su
chest.
propio camino.
Claro, pero por eso que eso era lo que
So
te iba a
like, yo,
decir.
like at the end of the day, people like not wanting to do something, like, yo, I'm cool with that. I'm not like a hater.
No, I know, but that's why I'm like, yo, it's all good.
But like,
it's
yo,
all good.
no, I'll tell you what I felt.
Joe-
What I felt with Joe was, and again, like, this was a long time ago.
No,
Yo,
no,
you're
yeah,
not
no,
meeting
we're
my
all
And shout out to
festive.
Joe. I hope Joe's doing well. I haven't seen
Yeah.
Joe in a long
Facts,
time.
yeah.
I hope Joe's doing great.
Yeah.
It felt like adding insult to injury. It wasn't like, yo, I'm going to go because I want to do my own thing. It was like, yo, I'm going to go because, and then he went into his thing.
You know what
and
it
then I
is?
was just kind of like, okay. And then that really drove me up a wall because I was like, yo, you know what? Whatever. He got off his chest. At least he's man enough to sit in front of us and tell us.
say
And
it.
then I found him in the studio.
Oh, yeah, that I
in
was
front of
working
my
with Edward.
studio.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I remember interrupting on some real hood shit.
Yeah, I
And he was
remember
like,
that.
Wait a minute.
I remember that like
Didn't
yesterday.
you just say all this shit? And I remember Edwin looking at me like, yo, you're fucking up the money right now. So I'm sorry about
You
that.
know,
No,
I
no.
was
No,
like-
no, it's okay,
It's
it's
low
okay.
key. It's low key. It's like it was low key disrespectful because it's like when you.
I
have,
wasn't mad.
No, it isn't that. But if you think about it, when you go back,
Yeah.
it's like if we playing on a team or something, and I go, yo, you're the manager, yo, man, I gotta go. This is not the right fit for me. Can I talk to the team first? And then you just go in there and be like, yo, guys, it's not the right fit for you.
It was like a Kenny
It's
No,
Powers
but
moment.
he when you
It's
guys
like
told me that he
weird.
said that he was like, yo, this doesn't live up to my standards.
Right, and then you go
and then,
tell everybody else.
And then when I came back
It's
in,
weird.
it was like that. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't even mad. I felt bad about it because I was like, yo, I was trying.
No,
you know
no,
what I
no.
mean? But then afterwards, I was like, yo, it's fine.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like I said, you know, it all worked. It worked out in the end.
Listen, just to sum it up, I feel like personally, I was very clear on what I wanted.
Of course. And
I knew what I envisioned for myself in the long run
Yeah.
and what I needed to do for that to happen. Did I know exactly how to do it? No, but I knew. I was like, all right.
And just for clarity
When
about
Scarlett saw those violins, she was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
but you know,
She saw the violins in the studio when we were practicing. She was like, yo, this shit ain't for
and
me.
the thing is that Scarlett puts this face.
She was like, yo,
yo,
what
but
is
you know,
this?
but you know what? you can't like even for us when we go back, we don't like every routine.
No,
Yeah.
No, we hated a lot of
We
routines.
had a lot of routines.
No, but I understood
And
that.
so
I understood that Jeff was trying to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I felt
And you-
I didn't want to come to the practice and be on some selfish shit and be like
Yeah.
and give bad energy.
No,
to
no,
Guys,
no.
wait a minute. This is
No,
a
no.
great moment to point out to people that are on teams and that are working with directors. You're not gonna like everything.
No.
Yeah.
Right? And that is really, really
And
important.
there's also a difference too because she
Yeah.
was already a pro. She was traveling.
Yeah.
She was established.
But
so she didn't have if you're coming up, give things a chance.
Of course.
But she was a pro already. She was doing her thing.
But more
It's a little
importantly
different.
is the ability to be like, yo, this isn't my vibe. I'd rather go before I fuck up,
the
environment
energy,
for
yeah.
everybody else because that's not cool either.
Yeah. And I was young, but I knew that I was like, yo, I can't be selfish and come into practice with the energy that I have and
Yeah.
fuck everybody up.
And again, you're young, so you don't even know how to hide your face.
Yeah,
at that
so I
point.
was like, you know what?
Scarlett did
maybe-
not know how to hide her face.
I know. I still don't. I'm working on it.
So
but I still
so
don't.
where was a better experience for you at Santo Rico or Yamule?
Yamule.
Whoa.
Wonder why.
Damn.
You
Man,
know
you're
what's
my
crazy?
teammates, yo.
I love you guys.
bro.
I really
Damn.
love you guys, and
That
I am.
And my
That's not
teammate.
right.
It's okay.
I'm
I believe
appreciative.
you.
I'm appreciative. I really, truly
You
am.
know, I
Like,
spun you. It
yo,
was me, baby.
I know.
It was
I know.
I gave you those terms.
I know. And I never forget. I always tell people,
It's
yo,
all good.
Santo Rico, those are my people. You know what I mean? But I feel like I started becoming who I wanted to become.
Gotcha.
when I
Yeah,
got
you know
to
what's funny?
Yamule.
I'd rather be your people than, even if like you had a great experience, but I'd rather be your people than, I had a great experience over there. but these are my people.
No.
I'd rather be that.
Yeah,
I'd rather-
yeah. No,
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I
definitely
mean? You know what I'm
those
saying?
my
So-
people, right?
Yeah,
so,
so-
but I knew once I got to Yamule, like, all right, it's go time, which is what I was expecting from Santo Rico. But because he decided to, leave, what was I supposed to do? You know what I mean? And then on top of that, like I said, I was young, but I knew enough that Jeff is still, trying to figure it out, and he's trying to find his route and whatever. I needed to find where
Scarlett was going.
Scarlett was supposed to go.
Nah, but
right?
we were happy for
And
you.
you
I
went
used
to
see your
Grand
show.
Concourse
I
in
would
the
see your
Bronx.
shows online. I'd be
Yeah,
like,
we
I
fuck
spoke
with
to
you.
you about that in Chicago.
Yeah.
I told you I have no issue. Like I'm happy
No,
for you.
I know, and I never had. There was never.
No. We
Never
always had
any-
good vibes.
any
And even
beef.
when I would see you out.
But even after that whole blow up, I still was like, yo, it's
love
all right.
you.
I love you too. I was
love
like, yeah,
Scarlett.
he's,
Yo, again, listen, I'm just an honest human, right? Like, at the end of the day, I don't knock nobody's hustle.
facts.
But-
But you're gonna tell it like it is.
But like everyone else, like, I want to be honest and I want to live in my truth as well.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the best way.
And that doesn't mean that we can't support one another living in our truths, because even from afar when we would watch it, we never ever had any ill
Nah,
wishes
facts.
towards you.
Once y'all started going to comp and stuff, I was like, look at them go. He was
Yeah,
talking about
and
how
we-
he wanted to go to comp, and now they winning and da da da.
Yeah,
Period.
and we love Scarlett.
You
So
know?
and you had a great run in Yamule.
Yeah.
How long were you there for?
So, I was there for 6 years
Wow.
okay,
in
hold
total.
on.
Oh,
So you didn't like Leafy.
no.
What?
Routine
Yamule
you didn't
routine.
like in Yamule. What was the least favorite one to do?
My least favorite one to do. You guys probably won't remember it because
We
I
will.
don't think
We
you.
will. Trust us.
It's one of the last ones I did. Fuck, it's a black one. I don't even remember. That's how you know. I don't even remember the name.
The black one in the
It's-
black costume?
it was a black with some green stones. It wasn't facultad. It wasn't Chaca. It was after Chacaboom.
Oh, so that was really
It was very recent. Yeah, that was the one I hated completely. Like I didn't
I
even buy a
remember the
costume. I didn't even buy a costume. Dun 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 dun. Ah fuck. I'll remember the name and then I'll let you know.
Okay.
But that's
Okay.
the only one. Every other one I like.
What was the biggest change? Because they do a lot of tricks. I don't think we were really doing that.
Yeah, I think tricks definitely because I realized quickly that I was scared of tricks.
Did he tell you?
Tienen que trabajar.
Yeah. He told me a lot of
trabajar,
things. He told me,
Scarlett.
you know, it
Muy
was.
talentoso, pues tienen que trabajar.
Yeah, he was like, you not trabajar, because he knew I could trabajar. I think he was just worried about my weight.
Tiene que trabajar.
Yeah. He was just worried about my weight and like how, we do a lot of tricks and, the
Pero tú no era, like, you
No,
never.
but I wasn't Yamule skinny when I got there.
We're not a good reference for that, G.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
Fat
dead.
ass huracan.
No,
But-
no. Tienen que trabajar.
And it's like, I didn't take it personally. Like it is what it is. I understood that that's what.
Yeah,
the
but I'm sure it
aesthetic
helped
was.
though, right?
I mean, but I didn't necessarily lose weight. I
No,
was
I don't.
stubborn
That's what I'm
as
saying.
shit.
I don't
was-
think.
Yeah.
Dude, you looked a lot stronger. Like you looked a lot more like cut and stuff like that.
But I
more.
was scared of tricks.
Why'd you end up leaving?
Yamule.
Yeah.
I felt like not that I plateaued, but I felt like what I needed to do there was done.
Jeff, is that last number?
That's what you have a track record.
That's also.
I mean,
That's also a factor. I didn't like. I felt like creatively, like I didn't agree with.
Interestingly
but
enough,
but
though,
she started. But I knew she was.
I knew
she's
too.
on her way out.
I know, I
When,
was gonna
when
say
I saw
that.
your classes.
Exactly.
I was like,
gonna touch on
bueno,
that.
como que.
Esta se va.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
this is kind of like the
You
birth,
started the
birth of the Groovement.
Yeah.
It's
No,
in Yamule.
totally.
It's funny though, because in SR you didn't like fucking did it either.
I didn't.
I never remember.
I didn't like it. Yeah, but
Ella quería mambo.
yo-
Scarlett quería un mambo.
Yo quería.
Leña fue, leña.
Yeah, like when we did the tribute. Yo, I had the time of my life. That was so fun. A lot of work, but so fun.
What tribute she talking about?
The one for
The
the
one we
team.
like to forget.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the worst days of my life.
Bro, but come on. We did. Remember Spin Mania? That shit was fire.
Yeah, Queens.
Yeah.
Or remember we did fuck, what was the one that you throw the it's alright, don't worry about it.
Avísale.
Avísale, yo. I danced with you.
Yeah, no.
That was a good show.
Yeah, we listen. No, dancing with
hard.
you is always fun.
That was a good show.
Me and Edu knew every number and nobody knew anything.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Anyway.
No, you guys didn't know. You guys were all
Yeah,
new.
we
I
all had to learn
was
that shit.
surviving in the corner.
Yeah.
No, we had to remember.
We had to
teach her.
remember and
I
teach
was
everybody.
you know how
Yeah.
hype I was when they were like, you could do Spin Mania? I was gassed. I was like,
Edu used to kill that.
period.
Yeah, he did. So Groovement.
Yeah, so towards
So the
the
videos,
end.
you were doing the videos.
Yes, towards the
Not
end.
the videos, the classes
Classes.
in Yamule.
Yo, can I say something though? I feel like Scarlett was the one that got that popping off in Yamule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the video started with you. Am I crazy about that?
Her and then after her it was
Well, you guys got on
Jonathan.
that. You guys got on the.
You
IG
and
train.
Jonathan, I feel like were the
Yeah.
ones
I
that
think
really
you
got.
first though.
Googie be dancing.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah.
John. I love him.
Yeah, because the thing was, Yamule kind of wasn't really doing the IG thing, but you kind of popped that off.
You know,
Yeah,
you-
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You know what's crazy? Because I feel like Osman he didn't really care
He's
about like traditional. Yeah. He didn't really care about doing the online stuff and all the promo and stuff. But I feel like at that time, my focus, because of certain things, became solely that and who is Scarlett? And I was like, I refuse to be in here and have given almost 7 years of my life to then leave and then be nobody. You know what I mean? That was my mentality. So I started not taking advantage, but yes, taking advantage of the class opportunity.
Why do you say that like your focus changed?
Because of, I feel like, not change. I feel like I reached a pivotal moment where I was like, all right, I've been doing this for almost 10, 11 years. What exactly do I want to do with it? Like, is it just going to be a hobby? Or am I trying to make it a career? You know what I'm saying? So it was that moment that I was like, okay, so if I'm trying to make it a career, then I have to make sure I me destaco entre todo el mundo. Like there's so many dancers. What can I do in order to make sure I can make that happen for myself? And how do I do that? So that's when I started exploring with, my classes. Because that's when Osmar finally gave me a class, a permanent class. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take advantage of the permanent class and try to grow it. And if I can grow it, then I'm onto something. And then that's when I started exploring with like different fusions. At the time, people were doing a lot of like the Afro with the salsa and a lot of more, what's that stuff that Tanya does? Like, Tanya Canarza, she does more like jazzy, what's that called? Like,
The Latin jazz.
those were the fusions that were out, and I was like, you know what? Why don't we throw some hip hop and stuff into it? And Osmar was not happy.
I was actually, that's where I
Medrano.
kind of wanted to go with that. Cause I was like, I wonder how
He was-
how he's
he
'cause
wasn't-
he's very particular
he
with
wasn't-
how he wants the style to be projected.
He wasn't that that excited.
But the class was growing though.
No, the class was growing, but he would always tell me that my music was shit and that I needed to do things a certain way.
The last part of learning.
Yeah, that I needed to do
recreating
things a certain way, and that certain things looked a certain way. And and this is in no way, shape, or form like trying to shit talk. Like, I love Osman to death, and I just understood, and I realized in that moment that okay, I'm doing something.
Well, he has a brand. He has a
brand.
brand of how he
Right,
shows his salsa. So
And also
now-
his time on, right? Like Osman has so much time on. I'm sure things in his mind are supposed to be a certain way.
Right. And again, like I said, I understood.
We had that conversation in one of our episodes where we were talking about like old school versus new and kind of like the way things used to be and like unspoken rules.
Yeah.
So I get that.
I get it, and I understood it. And at first, I feel like I was like trying to fight it, but then I would go home and sit and think and be like, you know what? I understand why he might have pushback, but I also understand that this is what I feel most happy doing. So I wasn't willing to sacrifice the things that I was doing with my class just because it didn't fit with what he saw. You know what I mean?
got you.
So then that's when I said, okay, I
And
think
that's how Groovement.
Groovement started. Yeah.
How'd you come up with
How long
that?
you been doing that?
2020, I say, like, what? Well, I started teaching more like 2019 before pandemic, but I feel like officially, Groovement was like 2020. And before anybody goes out here and like, you didn't create the name and blah, 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 blah. Let's backtrack, right? I didn't necessarily create the word. It's not even a freaking word in the dictionary, guys. So let's chill out. But I feel like what I did was take that word that actually Tamara was the one that told me to use. Shout out to Tamara Liborsi. Literally, she can tell you that she was the one like, Scarlett, you're doing a lot of like groovy moves and you're always promoting your things as groovy and groovy. Why don't you just say Groovement? Because I would always say, oh, body movement with me, body movement. And then I was like, oh, groovy vibes. And she was like, why don't you just use Groovement? And I was like, you know what? I like how that sounds.
That's a good name.
I did, in fact, actually look it up. Not fake look it up. And I did see that there was something out there that had the name Groovement. But I realized that it didn't have anything to do with salsa. So I was like, what can I make out of that? So that's where I kind of wanted to bring up at some point today, which great segue. Good job, guys. I wanted to make something of that, as in like, what does that mean? Not necessarily like I made up the word, but what am I gonna make that word mean in the salsa scene? And that's where that came out.
And clearly it was a good idea because it's being attempted to use by somebody else.
Yeah.
What does the FX mean?
So I wanted to do like the effects of Groovement,
Oh, okay.
like what it does to you, right? So that's where I was like, okay, maybe I can play with that wordplay, and I just threw it in there, just so that it's not just Groovement, because
Right.
Groovement, I feel like Groovement is the movement
So I see.
or the style.
You're going to the fact that obviously someone's using the name now, right? So is it possible that they could have had it first?
It's possible, but I looked up, and I mean, there was no discrepancy. You know what I mean? Like at least.
You're saying that in your research that never came up.
No, it did. Like I saw the.
No, I'm talking about your issue is that someone else in the salsa scene is using the name now, right?
Yeah, or was.
Okay. So what I'm saying is,
Everybody needs a king
is
on
it
their
possible
team,
that the other salsa person used it first?
No, absolutely not. Okay. Because like I said, I knew of her. Like I knew that she was in the scene, and I was familiar with what like her classes and stuff and the type of stuff that she did, and I never saw ever, because I would search when I was initially coming out with Groovement in the salsa scene, like who, if anybody would use it. So I never saw anything, and besides, she was doing more Cuban, like more Cubano stuff. So I was like, when I saw Groovement, that's why it irritated me even more, because I'm like, you don't even go here.
So let me ask you your opinion. Because obviously we don't know what she's thinking, and it's
Right.
We'd have to ask her, obviously.
Right.
But like, what do you think the resistance is? Like, clearly it's something that you've been doing for a while. Clearly the internet kind of went a little crazy and was
Yeah.
like, yo, this is a Scarlet thing. Why do you think the hesitancy to just not be like, oh, yo, my bad, I kind of made a mistake? What do you think that is?
Because I went public.
So you think it was more like, oh, you know what? Since you kind of outed me, like, fuck that. Now I'm gonna.
That's how it felt.
Okay.
Whether it was true or not.
I
That's
disagree
how it
with
felt.
that.
So what do you think?
No, I just think that what happens is that you just make a decision. Like, yo, I decided I'm gonna use the name. I'm gonna stick with it.
So you're saying
Okay.
you don't think she cared? Again, this is your opinion.
It's
right?
opinion.
Because
Listen,
we don't know.
my opinion, right? Because at the end of the day, right? You know, if you invest, right? Like, for example, I invested in the Huracan logo, right? That cost me money. We invested in the scene of ours.
Right.
Like, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right. So if you invest in a logo, just think about a logo, and somebody comes out and says, "Well, that's my name," right? There's a lot of people that are just not gonna care, right? And they're gonna move on. I mean, again, I'm in the same boat as you. When I chose the name Huracan, I did a lot of research, right? And it actually started as one concept and became something else.
Started with a J.
It started with a J because there's a
That's the way
Taino
it's
god
actually spelled,
called
yeah.
called Huracan with a J, and he's the god of evil thunder. And I just thought about it, and I said, yo, like, we're gonna come out strong. We're gonna do this. We're gonna be impactful. This is the name that I want. And I went to somebody that
Our designer,
Ray,
yeah.
who's very, he's dope with the logos, and he's very professional. And Ray said, he was like, me, I'm not gonna understand what Huracan is with a J, but if you put Huracan with an H, I'm gonna understand hurricane.
Right.
And then that's when we kind of pivoted and we put the H and we went from there. But I just, I think, this kind of goes back to the conversation we had before. I do think that you're a younger dancer, right? You're part of the next wave. But I think that you started in the old wave. And I think that there's a lot of unwritten rules that we have in New York that are not accepted throughout the world.
Right.
And I think that, throughout the world, it's kind of like, well, you're over there, I'm over here. It doesn't affect each other.
Yeah.
Where us in this area, in the East, in the Northeast, we kind of feel like we shouldn't take other people's songs. I don't want to keep harping on it, but how we spoke about in another episode. You shouldn't take other people's songs. You shouldn't take other people's names. And if you're going to come out with something, like put a signature in there that differentiates you from them.
Right.
And I just don't think that those principles are accepted. I think that throughout the world, it's like, yo, this is, again, good name, market tested.
Yeah.
I'm going to go forward with it.
Yeah.
I think what Jeff's talking about, Jeff, take your hat off and show what it says on the inside. I think what Jeff's talking about is that.
Individuality?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, there was a time where that shit meant something and there was currency in that.
Yeah.
And I feel as though now that is what's kind of lacking. And that's kind of what made your thing cool because of the fact of how it started, right? Because it was a very organic thing. It was a very thing that just started from you.
Yeah.
And even you didn't know what it was until somebody said, yo, you know
yeah.
what this is? It's this.
Yeah.
And then now you've taken it and you've turned it into something over the years, over
Yeah.
a few years.
Well,
now.
that's the thing too. Is the timeline is I don't know. I think if you said 2020. I mean, we're what 2025 almost. So it's hard to believe that.
This just came out of nowhere.
That she didn't like.
No.
It was just like, oh, I'm just gonna use this name.
I mean,
She had to have seen it,
yeah.
or
Which
just,
is cool.
Which
like
is-
whatever. Like
So I don't know. I think it's
again,
more-
I didn't. I'm not problematic. I know people are gonna be like, oh yeah, you're gonna be problematic. I'm not problematic. Like I swear I'm not. But like to me, it's big. It's a big thing to respect. You have to give respect in order to receive respect. And I've worked way too hard for way too many years in silence to finally get something going, to then have it just, like, nah.
But now you got to become an adult.
It was a learning experience though. Thank you. Because it actually taught me a little bit more about, what this actually means to me and how to protect myself and how to protect.
And
know what
that's
else I learned?
that's
Yeah.
kind of where I was going with it, right? Because, like the truth is this, and this is not in an offensive way, but
No.
I'm part of this too. In this scene of ours,
In this
we're
scene of
all very
Ba-dum.
ignorant to
That's-
how things happen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and again, it's like being a performer is one thing, then being a director is another thing, then being a promoter is something completely different.
Absolutely.
And what you realize is when you kind of dabble in each one has its own learning curve.
Yeah.
Right? And there are certain things that we have to do to officially protect ourselves
Yes.
and make sure that, you know, that we stay in the clear.
Yeah.
Because eventually, you know,
But-
the reality is, can this social media back and forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can that protect you? That's the question.
No, I don't think so. I think that wasn't even I don't think that was my goal. I think the social media part of it, or me going public with it, was just me standing my ground and trying to protect myself with my community and be like, yo, I know y'all see this, and I know I'm not going crazy. You know what I mean? Like, but I didn't look at it as like, oh, this is gonna protect me officially. No. I took my measures that I needed to take in order to make sure I'm protected fully, but I still felt that a very dire need to make it known, because this happens, like you said, a lot in our scene, and our scene is very ignorant, unfortunately. And I feel like this was like a learning lesson, not just for me, but also for her and for, you know, whoever else needed to see it. Because I had a few people come up to me and be like, yo, you know what's crazy? I had something similar happen to me, and I regret that I never said anything. And I'm like, well, that's you. But me, I was going down with a fight.
I learned something. I need a Kate on my team, because I know if something goes down, Jeff and Edwin are not going on social media and talking that talk.
Kate,
Okay?
That's my girl.
Edwin is not going on social media for me. I'm gonna be alone.
Edwin no te va a dar
Nah, but you know.
Yeah, but you know.
ni una mano.
But it wasn't.
Edwin will
Even,
punch somebody in the face before you go on social media.
but you
say
know what's
something about.
crazy? Damn. You know what's crazy though? That's like. It wasn't even just Kate. Like,
No, it was a lot of people.
I was super emotional throughout it all.
I'll be
because it was
honest
so
with
many
you. I
people.
think Kate was so impassioned about it.
Yeah.
I think she kind of like was like.
because she knows
Yeah.
the journey.
I got you.
So she it was almost personal to her too. You know
Good.
what I mean? But it wasn't just Kate. Like,
Kate made me want to like. She had like this. She made me want to just fly out there and be like, "Yo,
It
we gotta,
was-
what we gotta
Yo,
do?"
what you doing, bro?
Not even.
She had that,
She had everybody in New York. Honestly,
Yo,
like,
it's-
yo, we ride for our New York people.
That's what I'm trying to tell you though. Everybody needs somebody like that on
Like,
their
I
street
team.
got
cred.
on Kate's live, and like the second I got on, she was like, "Oh, I see some haters on here." I was like, "Yo, is she talking about me?" Like, yo,
No, my sis was angry too.
It was like a
and
brave heart. You know that movie?
Yeah.
You know, like, it was like,
Yeah.
I'm
She's
ready
like
to fight. I'm
300.
ready to
Kate
go.
like 300. Like
Yeah.
No, but
William
I
Wallace.
appreciate it. But like I said, like my intention was never to be,
well,
you know, that aggressive. But I feel like it just escalated, and I realized I am adult enough to realize that things could have been handled maybe a little bit better. But I still feel like I would have still went public with it. You know what I'm
well,
saying?
more importantly, right? I think as of today, that kind of has been squashed, right? That whole other movement thing kind of is like no go anymore, right?
Yeah.
it's
Which-
done.
Yeah.
It's done.
All right.
So listen, man. Sometimes you gotta kind of yell at the top of your lungs to kind of make
Sometimes
some
you
things
gotta be
happen.
a bully.
Yeah,
to get your
and
way.
like I said, it's a
I don't know about.
I don't know about it, but yeah.
I'm kidding.
But it definitely, like I said, it was a learning experience, and it's done. You know,
All right.
it is
This
what
a
it is.
Perfect
but
time. So what do you like? You have anything coming up?
You
Anything
think you
want
could?
to
You think you and Kate could end the Central Movement event right before New York Congress?
I'm dead.
You guys think you can help us out there or no?
I need to get Kate hyped up too. They'll go on that live be like,
Yo.
I don't know why they doing that. I don't know why they doing
Just
I
that.
don't
in
know
case,
about all
just
of
asking.
that, but
Just asking.
yo,
We'll get Kate on. We'll ask her.
yeah.
He's the real thug out of all of us.
Yeah.
Is what I've learned.
Yeah.
What do you have coming up?
My team is debuting on the 15th at the NYSBKZ Social.
Okay.
Got a new routine coming out, and working with Charlie. That's new too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Que le den candela.
Ay, stupid. Yeah, no, but debut, and we just working.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Scarlett, we really appreciate you coming.
Of course.
We got to do this again because I feel like there's a lot we didn't touch on.
I know.
We didn't touch
And
on
it goes by quick.
I know it does.
And I can only imagine things are going to get, los éxitos vienen ahora. Yo me
Ay,
imagino. So we're going to have a
amén.
lot more to talk about.
Ojalá.
Ojalá. All right. On that note, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Scarlett, why don't you plug your
your
social
handle?
medias, all your handles.
So you can follow.
Make sure you spell the Groovement one out.
Yeah, don't take out the E. All right. Just saying.
Looking.
Scarlett. I am Scarlett for Instagram, and then let me be specific. I am Scar. Let for me, and then for my team, you can look me up at Groovement FX. So,
Edwin?
Edwin __ Tolentino.
Wow,
Two
he
underscores,
remembers.
guys.
2 underscores.
Jeffrey?
Jeff Huracan.
Period.
That's it.
Mine's DJ Able NYC. Again, make sure you follow us on our other platforms. Obviously, the Scene of Ours, the New York Congress, and of course the Tri-State Instagram as well. That's all going to be put down here as well.
Latin Moves Dance.
Latin
Studio.
Moves Dance, of course, which is
And
where this
Huracan.
is being filmed at. Scarlett, thank you very much for coming.
It's my pleasure.
We love you. We appreciate
I
you.
love you guys
Keep
too.
kicking ass.
Yeah.
This Diet Coke hit right.
Yo, word. Not for nothing.
You see?
All right, all
Mira
right.
esto, yo lo dejé todo.
I drank a lot of it. I'm not going to lie.
I'm gonna finish
good.
mine. It's
I
all
drank
good.
all.
But
Yuck.
Come on, Jeff. Coconut
On that
smile.
note, peace.
Kind of hoping it hits you in the head.